Hello, and we're live. I would prefer not to be coming live to you at 12:45 p.m. However, we've had some breaking news that recently broke in the last hour and a half. I don't know why I'm pointing to the board, but there's a reason why. Two players are out for the Montreal Canadiens. Jonathan Drouin is out. He has 7 points in 15 points in 19 games. He's a good player, and Byron has 4 points in 19 games. We're gonna get into. I want to get into the points real quickly, but Jonathan Drouin is going to be out with a wrist surgery. He was injured in the Washington Capitals game. It was not related to the Ovechkin hit. However, um, several people think otherwise. I'm sort of one of those people. I didn't exactly see how Drouin could have injured his wrist on that hit, but could have happened. He didn't finish the game. He did come back in the third period though. But apparently he did not finish the game. I did not notice him in the ending celebration. And of course, he missed the game the next night against the Devils, in which the Canadiens lost 4-3 in overtime. And then Paul Byron is out with a knee injury. He was also injured in Washington. He did not finish the game as well, I believe, and it's unsure where the injury occurred, at least from what I could tell. Both are apparently out indefinitely. Byron, I honestly think most likely it's seeming to me likely with a knee injury, his season probably is done. And it sucks. I'm a fan of Byron, but it is gonna be a loss for the Habs, bottom six. Though, given he's one of the back end guys who's scored less. He's 4 points in 18 games, I believe. 4 points in 19 games, yeah. So 4 points in 19 games for him. Guys like Suzuki and Lehkonen and Thompson have 7 points. But still, Byron was doing good. He was starting to get things going, and now he's going to be out. And of course, Jonathan Drouin with his wrist surgery. Actually, both are said to only be out for a few weeks, though. So there's reports that they're out indefinitely, and also reports that they're only out for a few weeks. It's not 100% sure what is the case. Claude Julien, from the sources that I've read upon before going live, he said it's only a few weeks, so I'm going to take that. Right now, that's only a few weeks. The Canadiens, how do I think this impacts their record? I personally think that we can still do well without Drouin and Byron in the line. Of course, Drouin being he was our first line left winger. I believe Tomas Tatar is now going to take that spot with 20 points in 19 games. But if you look at it, our next three games are against teams out of the playoffs. It's the Blue Jackets, as I already have written on the board. And then I want to say it's the Devils. I forget. I'm not going to say Devils, actually. But we have three games, including the one against the Blue Jackets, where it's a team that's out of the playoffs. So Montreal absolutely has time to get their lineups ready. I mean, Tatar was playing on the first line because Drouin wasn't in the lineup, so Tatar definitely can gel with. I believe he's playing with Danault and Gallagher. I'm pretty sure he's playing with Danault and Gallagher. And then whoever's going to take Byron's spot. Actually, it's not even about who's going to take Byron's spot. It's about who's going to take Drouin's spot, most likely on the second line. If anything, personally, I think with that second line as of right now, I believe being Domi, Suzuki, and Armia, I believe. I can see the third lineup being Lehkonen, Kotkaniemi, and Cousins, personally. And then Thompson, Wheel, and I would think you bring up Charles Hudon. I think you call back up Charles Hudon. Why do I feel like I'm missing a name in there? Okay, so looking at it right now, Tatar, Gallagher, and Danault is our first line. I'm just going by what this says, so these aren't lines. Say Domi, Armia, Suzuki, Lehkonen, Cousins, Thompson, Wheel, Kotkaniemi, Poehling, or Hudon. Well, yeah, so I guess we don't even need the only person we really need to call back up is Wheel, and then put back in the lineup as Wheel, and then we can use Charles Hudon, call him back up, which he has been recalled already by the Canadiens, actually. So, yeah, I don't think Jordan Wheel is going to step into that top six role. I honestly think that is going to go. I think the top six lines are going to stay as they are with Tatar, Gallagher, Dano, and then of course Domi, Armia, and uh, Domi, Armia, and who was on that second line? Why can't I remember? And Cousins or Suzuki. I don't know why I forgot Suzuki was on that second line. He was centering it last game, but I could see that third line being Lehkonen, Kotkaniemi, and I personally would think Cousins. I think Cousins moves up to that third line, and you put Wheel. I'm about to say Byron, but Byron's kind of on the lineup. Byron, Houdon, and Thompson on that fourth line. Personally, I don't know. Me personally, though, I would put Thompson on the third line, but we're here to talk about Drouin and Byron and how their injuries are affecting the team right now. But well, they're not necessarily going to affect the team. Obviously, we're going to be missing Drouin for a while, but I think the Canadiens can do well without Drouin and Byron in the lineup. More so without Byron, just because he didn't have he didn't have many points in the game in his games. I'm sorry, I can't speak right now. Drouin, of course, those 15 points are vital for the Canadiens. But I think we can absolutely pick up without Jonathan Drouin for now. And I feel like whoever comes in the lineup, which I feel could be Wheel and Houdon, are going to get some good opportunities to show themselves. Of course, Houdon had no points in the two games I want to say he had this year. I don't know, he played, I'm pretty sure he played Washington and Jersey. And then Wheel has 4 points. He has the same amount of points as Byron, except he has 3 goals and 1 assist. I believe he got a goal the other night against the Capitals. I believe he scored against the Capitals. And then, yeah, so if you straight up replace Byron for Wheel, you're sort of, in a way, getting better because you have more goals. But, of course, they have the same amount of points, so it doesn't really matter for the most part, except for the fact that Byron is very speedy. And this knee injury, I feel, could hinder that in the long run. Hopefully it doesn't. If it does, then, yeah, it's kind of obvious in a way. But also injured is Ryan Poehling. Ryan Poehling has an unknown injury. The sources I read said that it's not sure what exactly his injury is. He was injured with the Laval Rocket. Of course, this matters because I personally think if Poehling was not under an injury, I think he would have been called up. I really think that even though Houdon was called up late last night or yesterday around this time, I think they would have sent Houdon back and called up Poehling if he didn't get injured. It's unsure what the injury was, but he came back to the game. He was on a shift playing for the penalty kill. I believe it said penalty kill. But he's going to undergo an evaluation, and it's going to see what his injury is, whether it's a tweak or it's a tear or whatever happened to him. Hopefully it's very minor and he's able to return to the Laval Rocket, or if the Canadiens want, call him up to play him with the Canadiens and send down Houdon or Wheel or whatever they're going to do with that. So yeah, and interesting to note, after going a month and some days into the season, about 14 or so, I want to say, without any major injuries or any injuries at all, I believe for the most part, except Byron and Kotkaniemi, without some major injuries, Drouin and Byron are now out. So, I put the Habs are likely recalling Houdon, and I would think likely Poehling if his injury isn't serious. If his injury is something like, oh, you'll be out a game or two, something like, I believe Byron's first injury this season where he was only out for a game or two. I know he wasn't out for a game at all, actually. I can't think. I forget who was injured for a game or two. I feel like it might have been Suzuki, actually. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But where it's just a day-to-day thing. If it is, I really think the Canadiens could call up Poehling and play. I'd play him on that fourth line. I'd scratch Kotkaniemi, put Poehling there. But yeah. So Drouin and Byron, they're going to be some big losses for the Canadiens. Hopefully they do come back in a few weeks, especially Drouin. Of course, either of them. My apologies. Of course, neither of them should rush back if they don't feel 100% ready. Of course, they probably already know that. But I think Canadiens will. They're not going to suffer as much as I think some Canadiens fans are thinking. The next 3 games, of course, like I said, are games against teams that are out of the playoffs. We can We can play those games, and I would think maybe mix the lineups up a bit to see who has more chemistry. And then, of course, next Tuesday's a game against the Bruins, which that's when you really need to be like, all right, we got to get our shit together, and boom, this is the game where we're going to be 100%. These are our lineups for the next few weeks until Drouin and Byron come back. Of course, unless somehow one of them come back earlier than a few weeks, which that'd be great if they're 100% ready, but hopefully they do 100% heal before they come back. I think Hudon will have good opportunities here to come up into the lineup and get some more points. And even Poehling, if his injury isn't serious and he's able to come up and play, I'd love to see him score, as I'm sure a lot of people would. But yeah, I think this is a big opportunity for whoever gets called up to the Canadiens. It's Tatar and Wheel. It's Hudon and Wheel right now. But if it's Poehling, he's also got a good opportunity, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty confident that the Canadiens are going to play very well without Drouin and Byron. I think they're going to play harder that they've lost Drouin and Byron. Like, okay, we've lost these guys. These teams aren't going to take us. These teams are going to take us a little lighter than they would, which is funny considering we just proved we're not to be taken lightly with the Washington game. But I think teams are going to take the Canadiens lightly without Drouin and Byron, and that's the opportunity for the Canadiens to strike and say, not so fast. But yeah, that's going to do it. I just want to come live and come up here live and talk about the injuries and how it could affect the team. Hopefully, both guys are their surgeries go well. Hopefully, nothing is botched in either case. I didn't mention it's in the description, but I didn't mention Drouin is having a surgery today. I doubt it's as I speak right now, but he is having a surgery today, and Byron is having his knee surgery tomorrow. Did I even mention Byron is out with a knee surgery? I hope I did. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, Drouin's having a surgery today, Byron tomorrow, and we will find out. I'm pretty sure we will find out as the day and tomorrow how those injuries are coming along, or how the surgeries went, I should say. Drouin most likely by the evening, I would think, and Byron, of course, tomorrow, I would think before the game against the Blue Jackets. We'll find out how he's doing. So yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, favorite channel, everything which includes Blizz Unlimited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and everything else. My name is Harry Rice. Subscribe to the Puff Club, subscribe to the HD Club. Shout out to my mod, Jesse, who's not in the chat. He hasn't been in the chat for a long time. For getting me the HD webcam. Links in the description on my Twitter, Twitch, my Amazon wish list, and my Letterboxd. Twitch, I don't use it all. Once I figure out OBS, that'll get popping off. Twitter, I use for when I talk about something that's on trending and I find it interesting. Amazon wish list is just that. It's a wish list. Not required to enjoy the channel. If you do it, it's appreciated. You'll get a video, but it's not required, but if you want to, it's appreciated. And my Letterboxd is where I'm going to rate and review movies. That's where I rate and review movies. Most likely, just rating. Sometimes I will review them, but yeah. Funny thing, I just got a notification from the hockey guy talking about the Drouin and Byron, so I'm not going to get views. No, but really, hopefully Drouin and Byron make a safe and speedy recovery, especially Byron, since we know how speedy he is. So yeah. My name is Harry Rice, and I am out. Peace.